Everybody, I'm back. It's been a while since I've done an out of the box. I've been working on my article for AFM and just haven't had the time, and my workbench hasn't been clear enough to do one of these. Finished that. I haven't done any live painting either because I kind of had to keep that secret for what's going on. And when the magazine comes out, you'll be able to see it completed. As for now, I want to do another one of these, grab something off the shelf behind me and just go through the box. I've never opened the packages that are inside this box. I have opened the box and looked at it before, but it's been back behind a bunch of stuff and haven't pulled it out in a very long time. So without further ado, early classic from 1995, Commando by Soriyama and Volks. Little history here. I've always wanted this kit. Managed to grab it a couple years ago. I think it was, I can't remember which Wonderfest it was. It was the one where the contest was in the dealer's room down the center, and someone had a buildup of this thing sitting on the top shelf, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need that kit. Years later, I finally got it, and it's still sitting in the box, unpainted. Basically because, I mean, it'd probably be a very simple paint job, but to make it look right is going to be difficult, and so I just kind of never wanted to take on that task. Also, it's pretty big. I think it's like quarter scale, so it's pretty large. Lots of little spindly pieces as well, and mixed materials, which you're going to see. So again, without further ado, Soriyama. I'm going to keep the box on my lap and open it up because it's so big, and it's got some really cool box art by Soriyama. You look at the sides. It just keeps it there. Commando's written on one side. And there we go. So I'm going to keep the box on my lap. I'm going to open it up. The really cool thing about this is, let me take the top off, and you'll see, not something you see very often. Maybe with Volks, because I think it maybe only had one other Volks kit. But it comes packed with, there's the directions, hay, or straw, or whatever that is. Some sort of plant material. So I'm going to pull that off to the side for a second, and go ahead and look at the instructions. Instructions photocopied, black and white, has your part breakdown there, finished kit there, again, 1995, and a lot of Japanese I can't read. So open it up, part breakdown, and it starts to kind of tell you where things go. It's going to be hard to put this together. Like I said, there's lots of little tiny bits and pieces that go on there. I wonder if anyone ever did a build video of this online somewhere to see how it goes. Maybe I'd do that. But then on the back it has some ads for their other kits, Blind Beauty and the Gynoids, which were some other Soriyama's paint work, airbrush work. Very famous artist from Japan. So let's take that. I'll just set that off to here for now so we kind of know what we're working on. Go through this hay and straw, and then we'll pull out. Here's some pictures that come with it of the finished buildup. Here's one that's primed, so you kind of get an idea what it is. And then you have one that is painted from behind. That's really cool silver. Has a latex, looks like the person's wearing a latex dress and some metal work over it. I like that paint job. I like the silver, but I think there should just be, and it goes with his artwork, that's what it's supposed to look like, but at this point, who cares? Maybe just change the contrast between those two so they show up a little better. Maybe I'll leave that there and leave that there. Oh, that looks stupid. Alright, so parts. First, I'm going to totally ruin the value of this kit and open these bags. So you can see this is a solid cast resin. At first, when I thought, for some reason, I thought it was going to be vinyl, and it's not. Just maybe because at the time, a lot of stuff was. This is a leg with part of a thigh. The other one that comes with it is here. Get all this hay everywhere. And they go together. Wow, okay. They fit in like that. So you have like those hinges. That looks pretty cool. Gonna have to paint those in sub-assemblies and grind off some of this on the feet just so that you can get a nice finish on both. That's why they did that part breakdown the way it is, so that you can paint both of those at a time. And I I mean, it's impressive to know that it's been around this long and none of that stuff's broken off yet. As far as the mold lines, they've did some work already of sanding those off, which is kind of cool. Put those back in the bag so they're not lost. There is going to be some nudity. If you're afraid of plastic nudity, please avert your eyes. This is the rest of the body. It is heavy, solid cast resin. Solid cast resin. Plastic. Beautifully sculpted, beautifully cast. You have, again, which is typical of all future kits, even had these really big pour plugs that'll have to come off, but we'll leave that out. It is so smooth. It smells pretty good. It doesn't smell like old stinky resin, which is awesome for when you're working with it. Not much sanding to be done here at all. Very fine. I don't know if you can see this, but there's like some circuit board patterns almost that are very lightly there, which wrong coat of primer, and those are going to be completely blown out. I don't know if you can even see them. You don't want to obscure those. You got to kind of keep them the way it is. But beautifully cast piece. It's nice and heavy too. But yeah, there's the body. Maybe we should go ahead and try and set these legs on. The fit, you're going to have to take care of all of that to get this to fit right and to look just right so that it fits in there. Look like it's coming out. But yeah, pretty cool piece. Set those off to the side. As far as some of the other pieces, there's 2 more bags. This bag contains the arms and head and the base. So I'll pull the body back out here in a second too. A lot of crinkling. There's one arm. That's gorgeous. We'll get into some of that detail right there. Lots of cool stuff packed into this. You got a bullet on her arm, belt with the little notches on the belt even there, or the holes. Take my glasses off so I can see a little better. I don't have my readers down here. This is going to be not so fun, is grinding off or sanding off some of the mold, the excess on there, on that, but shouldn't be too hard. As far as fitting on, it has that, so it looks like there's those hinges in there. Fits nice into her waist. So that, again, yeah, that could be done in sub-assembly, so that's easier. It's really nice. The other arm, same thing. Let's see if the wrist has those. Yeah, the wrist has the same little pieces on there. Let's see what else we got here. The base. Base is just pretty simple. Looks like a hatch door, hatch lid. And that's pretty nice. Looks like 1 foot fits in there because 1 foot is off the ground, so it has to fit in there very nicely. Let's see if it does. Yep, it does. So it fits pretty good. Nice fit there. Still should be pinned. There's some marks there so that it can be pinned. And so that it goes in a little better than it does. But that's really sublimely cast, as if that's even a word. No air bubbles, no detail lost. A little bit of sanding to do on the edge here and there, but that should be pretty good. Here's the head. The head is really, really nice. Not much in the way of, well, yep, there it is. Sanding that off is not going to be fun. To get this as smooth as it should be without losing that center line that's in there. I don't know if you can see that. That kind of sucks. Then there's some small air bubbles, tiny pinhole air bubbles in there, but I'll bet more will show up as you sand that out. So that'll be a bit of a pain. There's a little bit of a mold line there. I don't know if you can see it. That can go. But as far as the face goes, that's pretty nice. There's some eyelash detail in there to kind of give you an idea of where they should go. But yeah, that's, out of everything I've seen so far, that's going to be the hard part in building it, which makes me terrified. What else we got? Last bag. In that last bag, you have all the other parts. I'm going to take this off my lap. I could keep a bunny in that box with all the stuff that's in there. This bag, you have to go back and look at some of those instructions to find out where everything goes. But the cool thing about this is it does have some vacuum form pieces. I'll get that out of the way. These go over the breasts, as in there's like these clear plastic covers, because every space woman has their breasts hanging out in clear plastic. And this one is the face mask that goes over the helmet. So cutting that, you have to be exactly just dead on with getting that to fit over this. So yeah, that, I remember, I think it's the Faust kit from Michael Burnett where it had those vacuum form light covers, and I just could never cut them right to get them right to fit right. So who knows? I may never do this now that I'm thinking about it. Save myself the headache. Here's a gun. I kind of don't want to open these bags because I don't want to lose any parts, but this one I think I can. Oh, what the heck. So this gun has the strap, the hand. Does not have the barrel attached because that stuff is tiny. Looks like, I don't even know where this goes, but this has minimal flash on there. Should be, yeah, there's some sanding to do on there. The trigger's not there. That's in another, it's in the other small bag. We'll get that off to the side, pack it up later. Here you have a tiny, tiny, tiny bag of white metal, spikes, spindles, gun parts that should be okay. It looks like there's like little bits to cut off of them. Little bits to cut off of them and glue them in spot. And it looks like wherever they go, there are holes already pre-drilled where they need to be. So that shouldn't be too hard to put those in. I'm afraid I drop everything when I'm building stuff, so I know I'm gonna lose this little tiny piece at some point. But that's really cool. White metal. You don't see that as much with pieces being in white metal. Volks did it. Future did it for some of their parts. This is a spring. This is a very long spring that's used for the mask to come out of. I'm pretty sure. Yep, to come out of here, I think, as the air tube. And am I wrong? No, I'm wrong. Totally wrong. This goes, I have no idea. There's separate tubes for this. So this probably, don't know. I'll look into it. But there's a big long spring that goes with something. Oh no. On there for now. And this, another one I'm not going to open the bag here because just I don't want to lose them. This frightens me, this piece right here. These are all resin, these are not white metal, so that is this is not something you want to have if you have a cat or a child running around the house. Thankfully, I have neither. Because if this thing even bumps over once, it's game over, shattered. But yeah, that's Commando. Lots of parts. GK Classic, and I don't know what else to say. This is a very cool kit. Will probably end up being sold at some point, but who knows. There's part of the gun. Lots of cool pieces, lots of stuff. Piece of history. You don't see many of these. I think I've only saw one built up at Wonderfest all these years, and I haven't missed a show since I think '95. I'm in a race with somebody to see who's the first one to miss. But Volks Commando by Soriyama and Volks. I just said Volks twice, but that's the part. That's what's in the box for today. Stick around. I'm going to have some more live streaming here soon with some more miniature painting a little bit. I got to get back on. I got to have Model Club coming up and got to get my entry going for that. I'm very, very far behind on things. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.